Hello, great people. Nigerian army suffered heavy attack as Boko Haram boys attacked the military base in Mate local government area of Borno State. And the casualty was so much, so enormous that some of the soldiers were crying. And this is one of the incessant attacks that has been occurring repeatedly. You will be seeing the video of the attack on the screen, and you'll be seeing the kind of havoc that the Boko Haram element wreaked on the Nigerian military. In this video, going forward, I'll be referring to the Boko Haramists as either BH or Boko boys. That's what I'll be referring to them, and then we'll be dissecting the issues. I know most of you likes to hear about politics and governance, but then again, we must not lose sight on the matter of insecurity, because for you to play politics, you need a secured environment. For you to be in government, to be part of the people ruling the country, you need a safe society. And for you to benefit from the government, you need a safe society. And that is why we must not overlook the issue of insecurity as much as we focus on politics and governance. So that's why I'm kind of like treating this topic, and I'll be addressing the issues. Why is this incessant attack? Why is this still happening? What is the politics behind it? What are the social issues behind it? And we'll be picking it from three perspectives: the perspective of the people, the angle of the people, that of the government, and that of the army and other security agencies. I know that some of you will want to hear what I want to say about the government and the military. Yes, I would, I will give you my strong perspective on it. But then let me start with the people first, which is you and I and other Nigerians. You see, if we are not careful, we will be the one at the losing end, in the sense that we will lose everything. Because I can tell you that what Boko Haram wants is you that you are watching me, and yours. What do I mean by that? You means you yourself, and yours means your family, your friends, your properties, anything that belongs to you. That is what they want. But they know that they cannot have access to you and yours except they decimate the Nigerian military. And that's why they will first of all focus on the Nigerian military. So if all these incessant attacks, if it continues and the Nigerian army continues to suffer unprecedented loss, then if the Nigerian army is decimated, definitely all these BH boys will then come for you and yours. And that is why I've usually advocated that we need to support the Nigerian military. Bad as it bad, that is what we have. I know some people don't like the military because they say, oh, they have human rights abuse, they have high-handedness, they behave as if they are God and all that. Well, you may be correct based on the version of your own reality, but then do not lose sight that as bad as these military guys are, that is what we still have. And if we don't fight for them, if we don't kind of like support them, definitely when Boko Haram is through with them, then they will easily come for you and yours. And don't say that, oh, this thing is happening in the north. Well, if you read the ideology of radicalism, one thing about these guys is that they are never satisfied. They are never satisfied when it comes to you can kind of like gaining territory. So when they are through in the north, they will come to the south, and they will kind of like come to everywhere else in Nigeria. And that's why I repeat that you need to support the Nigerian military, because they are trying to decimate them to gain access to you. And when they are done with them, definitely they will come to you. And being a soldier in Nigeria is really not an easy job in a country whereby politicians will be committing lots of atrocities. Politicians will promise you renewed hope, they will give you hopelessness, then they will send the Nigerian military to go and be tackling protests. Is it the Nigerian military that promised renewed hope and gave hopelessness? So it's not easy to be a security agent in Nigeria. Now, I've spoke about the people, which is that what Boko Haram wants is you and yours, and that is why you need to support the Nigerian military, because supporting them is you kind of like frustrating Boko Haram efforts to have access to you and yours. Now, let us go to the government. You see, government, the Nigerian government, you see, the way they behave leaves so much to be desired, in the sense that it took the effort of the governor, Baba Gana Zulum, and the federal lawmakers to raise alarm that Boko Haram is using armed drones. And when they raised the alarm, these people, they tried to shut the governor down. You will recall that the Minister of Information said, oh, the governor is just raising unnecessary alarm. Come on. A governor that is the chief security officer of his state, that is receiving intelligence report, that understands the language, that understands the terrain, that understands the climate, that understands the issue. Is the governor is even an APC guy. He's speaking about the survival of his people, and he's making the statement so that there can be interagency and intergovernmental collaboration. The federal government will speak and say, oh, he's overplaying the issue. Look at it now, from one attack to another. And before this attack, there was another one which I'll be putting on your screen. It happened on 1st May 2025. It says ISWAP claim responsibility for Borno bombing killing 26. So it depends on the area of Nigeria that you are. If you are in the south, you may not know that the people in the north are suffering a lot. The people in the north, they are going through a lot of a lot of insurrection. So why would the Nigerian government, be tackling the government and the lawmakers? Why do you expect them to cover things up? So it is wrong for Nigerian government to tell them to shut up. And the problem is that the priority of this government seems to be about grabbing power. If you look at it well, you score Bola Ahmed Tinubu eye on grabbing power. PDP senators, Labour Party senators, House of Rep members, they are decamping every day. Governors are joining the APC. So it seems to be an elitist-oriented kind of government. So the government is scoring A on power grabbing, but with all this insecurity that we are seeing, the government is scoring F9. And you can see that instead of you to focus on scoring A on insecurity, then the people will be happy to vote for you. Definitely you will still remain in power, but you choose to take the shortcut to be an elitist government, to kind of win over key political stakeholders, thinking that at the end of the day they can use their influence and support to make you win the election, or they can use it to maneuver the process for you. That is what we call dark politics, and that is why the federal government needs to be very careful. And another issue is the salary. The salary of these military guys, the salary, the welfare, and the level of ammunition. If you look at it, what is the salary of a lance corporal to the reality of the Nigerian economy of today? What welfare packages is available for these guys, particularly those at the war front? And how about the ammunitions? Because if you look at it, Boko Haram will not have access to some ammunitions except they were able to kind of extort it from the Nigerian military. For instance, how will Boko Haram have armor tanks? If Boko Haram is using weaponized drones, it is understandable. It's a small device, right? But armor tanks, how would they have it except they attack the Nigerian military and they harvest those ammunitions from the Nigerian military? And that is why the Nigerian government needs to be very careful to make sure that the arms and ammunitions are readily available, the morale of the troops are high, and at the end of the day, don't forget that some of these BH guys, what they want is an Islamic state, and at the end of the day, they will come and sack you in that Aso Rock one day if you are not careful. All these, state house, all these government house, they will come to your doorstep one day if you are not careful. So the government should look into the salary, the welfare, and the ammunition of these soldiers so that they can be inspired to do their job. Now, let me talk about the Nigerian military and other security agencies before I go back to the people. This time, the people of Borno State and other areas that are suffering insurgency. Now, let me first of all touch on the Nigerian military and other security agencies. See, is it not shameful, Oga Soldier, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, that Nigerian military are now kind of battling an insurgency that are using weaponized drones? Imagine that, weaponized drones. So is there no interagency collaboration at all, in the sense that, you see, for you to have weaponized drones, definitely it must have passed through the borders of Nigeria. The question is, where are the Nigerian custom? Where are the Nigerian immigration? They said that some of these BH guys, these Boko guys, that they are not Nigerians. Where is the Nigerian immigration? Where is the DSS, the intelligence agency? The DSS, why is it that you guys are only so super effective when it comes to pursuing very dark man, when it comes to pursuing Omoyele Sowore? But all these Boko Haram, all this, insurgency, what are you guys doing to make sure that you kind of stop their operation? You are supposed to be a secret police, which means that you are supposed to be operating but not aired. But since the days of Buhari time, you see DSS all over the place. You see them, any small thing, you see them in the news. Their operation, is no longer the way it used to be. DSS has been existing since the days of IBB, Ibrahim Babangida. People don't hear about them. But now, you hear about the DSS a lot because they have given them another priority that is not their own. And that's why I said politicians leaves much to be desired in the Nigerian context. And Oga Soldier, please, is there no consequence for actions in the sense that the president has appointed you? If you are failing, there should be consequence for action. When you appoint people into sensitive offices, if they are failing, there should be consequence for action. At least there are people that are in charge of all these military barracks in all these states, all these battalions and all that. Is there no consequence for actions or inactions? And are you leading by example? Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, are you leading by example? Or is it that you just sit down in Abuja, be drinking coffee and tea, be enjoying your life, then you'll be giving instruction to the people that that are not well taken care of in terms of welfare at the battlefield? So the big thing is that lead by example. When you lead by example, when you are at the battlefront yourself, of course your soldiers will be inspired. And so for some military leaders that are sabotaging the effort of the Nigerian military, always know that you cannot serve God and Mammon at the same time. You cannot be part of the Nigerian military and you are also sympathetic allegedly to some of these Boko Haram elements. You cannot serve God and Mammon at the same time. If you want to be in the Nigerian military, be there. We appreciate your effort. We love you. And if you are sympathetic to some of these guys, resign. Go and join them. Let us know who are our friends and who are our enemies. Now, back to the people, the Borno State people. See, if you are not careful, you see, you are the one that is at the losing end majorly. And that is why the people need to be careful of what is being preached in the mosques every Friday. What is being preached in the mosques in all these states, and how do these people take religion? These are some of the issues. And also in terms of welfare, if you go and join Boko Haram because of peanuts, that will leave more to be desired. That's why I call on the government to make sure that the welfare of the military and also the people is well taken care of. But the people need to lead the fight in the sense that they should fish out the bad eggs among them. If you don't give information to the security agencies, definitely they won't know how to help you. And you yourself, you need to fish out the bad egg. Do you have a child that you are beginning to see traces of radicalization in him? Then you need to quickly cry out so that people can help you as regards that child. What is being preached in your mosques? If your religious leader is preaching about extremism, why not report such leader? Because we've heard video of some leaders in Nigeria now that when before they attain power, they are preaching about extremism. That itself leads more to be there. So it has to be tackled holistically. Everybody has a role to play for insecurity to end in Nigeria. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.